My name is Patrick Thomas, and I'm a graphic artist, an author, and an educator. I'm a professor of visual communication in Stuttgart, in southern Germany. Welcome to ACTIVISMUS, an exhibition that's been open for a month during lockdown in Berlin. I'm going to give you a bit of a talk, a bit of insight about the work in a minute. But I think to begin with, it might be useful if I explain how the whole thing came together. So I was approached by einBuch.haus several months ago, asking if I'd like to make a book presentation. This book, Protest Stencil Toolkit, the revised edition of which was published a few months ago. So we talked about an accompanying exhibition, and I thought it would be interesting, rather than just sort of working with the content from the book, if I could somehow develop it further. So it's about activism, it's about collaboration, it's about getting people to somehow respond to the mess that the world's in right now, if you like. And the idea is that somebody gets hold of a copy of the book and pulls out the stencils and then starts to put together visual statements. It's important to understand that I'm not telling people what to say with the book. So you can use this book to say many, many different things. It's purely an intent to get people, to make people more active somehow. I refer to this as an interactive graphic environment because it's not really an exhibition or an installation. And something very interesting happened. After we hung it in mid-March, a day later, the city of Berlin went into lockdown. And in a strange kind of way, it completely resonates with what I wanted to achieve with the work, which is this idea of connecting people via hyperlinks, via QR codes, quick response codes, things like that. It was strange opening in a deserted city, but because everybody is now online, and all of the work is kind of linking to stuff online, it somehow kind of makes sense. Each of the modules is a unique work, and they are produced combining digital printing and then overprinting with analog silkscreen. In 2020, anybody who owns a smartphone can interact with the work because smartphones these days have QR code recognition software built into them. So very, very simply, take a photograph and then it's going to pull up a link. In this case, it's going to be a Twitter feed. And I think this is very simply linking into every time the word activism or activismus has been tweeted in real time. An interesting property of these QR codes is the fact that they're what's known, this is linking in with Guerrilla Girls, as you can see. All of the QR codes are dynamic. This means that I can constantly keep tweaking them and pointing them to different destinations. So it was very important for me to give William Morris a prominent position in the installation because he was working in the 19th century, he was the founder of the British arts and crafts movement, and he was many, many things. People kind of know him as being a designer of decorative wallpapers and textiles and things like that. But apart from that, he was very political. He was an editor, he was a publisher, he was a poet. And I wanted to somehow create a dialogue between his forms, so forms that are 100 years old, with a very contemporary graphic language. On the occasion of the presentation at einBuch.haus, I've released 2 editions, the risograph 2 ink editions, in response to the coronavirus situation. The first one is, I've just lifted this, this poetry by Kitty went viral right at the beginning of the pandemic. And again, I wanted to kind of create some kind of dialogue with William Morris's Willow print. So this idea that, you know, nature somehow taking over, or our awareness of nature becoming more important. And on this side, again, this is more abstract. I've got a dialogue between the natural form of William Morris's Willow and the mechanical, sort of industrial form. And the result, it's actually 3 images, this. It's the willow, it's the mechanical dots, and it's also the combination of both. And the combination somehow starts to create quite an interesting moiré effect. Without getting too technical, that is when you get interference between 2 forms that somehow share a grid, a similar grid. And they're produced, they're hand finished, so there's a very beautiful rubber stamp, and signed and numbered.